Oh man, you gotta love
The
it.
picture.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. That's you catch a side. There's both sides. Make sure that you got it. What's up, people? This is your friendly neighborhood DP Brown, and I'm with my man Marvin Wynn. We are on the Comic Bird Show. Da 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 da. We gotta get like some music for that and everything. Welcome to the Comic Bird Show, where we talk about basically anything we want because it's our show, right, Marvin?
Yeah, I mean, when it's your show and you can just talk about stuff, you can sit here in silence if you feel like it. You could punch the air if you feel like it. Do that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, all that good stuff and everything. But yeah, we're here to basically show our wares and everything, and talk about subjects that we hopefully that you want to actually hear about and everything. On today's subject, we basically want to talk about if you still believe in comics. So it's a lot of changes that have been going on in the industry and everything, and comic stuff, comic shops have been closing. Some have been open and everything, but stuff has been closing. The industry is just shifting, and things are going in ways that you just never know that where it's going to go. How the shift is going to land and how it's going to land for us indies. How it's doing with the majors, but basically us indies, we're trying to figure things out, trying to figure out where we fit in. So basically want to touch on that. I do want to do some house cleaning before we get into our main topic and everything. So basically we're Comicsburg. So me and Marvin were co-owners of Comicsburg. Make sure that you're following us on all our social media platforms. We're at Comicsburg. We're on X.
Don't give it to you.
Formerly known as Twitter. X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. So if you're watching our YouTube channel right now, thank you. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. So anytime that we're on, that we're on. Make sure that you follow us, like I said, on all the social media platforms, so you can know and know about us and keep updated with everything that we got going on and everything that we post. So we definitely thank you for that. Thank you for those who are watching us tonight. For jumping in, seeing what we got going on. We're going to try to do this, hopefully once a week, depending on how the energy gets up and everything. But
Right.
we're trying to keep this consistent as much as possible, because consistency is the key to the social media stuff, right?
Gotta be here so the people will be here.
Mm-hmm. So the people. It's a good reminder too. I was telling Marvin off mic. If you consistently make sure that you remind people you're out there, then people will respond. So it brings out the much more engagement, for that. So just wanted to let you know that we also have like some October cons and appearances in the month of October that we're going to be doing this month. So we'll be at the Indie Lit Fest in Pittsburgh on October the 12th. That's tomorrow. Wait, is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
No, that's Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday we'll be at the Indie Lit Fest. So make sure you come out, if you're in the Pittsburgh area, and check us out. Bell's Comics 30th anniversary event show in Grove City. So Bell has been like a really great supporter of Comicsburg and is doing like a I guess this apparently has been in the business doing this thing for like 30 years. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, Marvin?
Yeah, so we will be traveling up to Grove City. I think he has it at it's like it's an event space, so it's not at the shop.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, so that's Mark Bell runs Bell's Comics, and he said is that he's been really good for us over the years, and I think this will be the second time or third time? Second time that we were going up there to enjoy that. So that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next week.
Oh, so he's doing it for 3 days, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, okay. So
I don't know if I'll be up there all 3 days. I think Grant might be the only one that'll be there all 3 days.
Okay, Grant is one of our Comicsburg creators, so shout out to Grant. So a 3-day event at Bell's Comics 30th anniversary. So that should be off the chain, off the hook. We outside, as like the young folks say. We doing our thing. And also Monaca Book Fest. We're still getting that confirmed and everything, but so far that's going to be on November the 2nd. So make sure that you guys are. It's outside the month of October. We thought we mentioned it anyway, since it's like on the tail end. So make sure
We
that
have
you guys
another one in November also. Du Bois Con is in November.
Okay.
We'll get that out with the next newsletter that comes out in November.
Yep. Speaking of newsletters, make sure that that you guys are going on to our website, comicsburg.com, and signing up for the newsletter. You can also send us some feedback and everything on everything that's Comicsburg related. info@comicsburg.com. Tell us what you think about our stuff. Give us some feedback. Say hi. We love hellos and everything. We love send all your business inquiries and everything. Over there as well. So definitely check that out. And that's basically it. So that's it for like the house cleaning and stuff. So let's go ahead and get into like the meat and potatoes of this
meat and
this show. Meat and potatoes. So Marvin, do you still believe in comics?
I mean, I get up every day and do something comic related, so I guess I gotta believe in it. every day, something. Gotta do something.
So being that you're like an indie creator, you got like the Edge stuff, the Blain, the Kickstarter's going on right now. You got everything going on as far as that. So tell us about like your daily thought process as far as, since you're running this Kickstarter right now with Blain. Tell me about like your daily thought process as you're getting set, up in the morning to like the evening, on how you're getting the word out about the Blain Kickstarter.
Right. So the first thing I do in the morning is I get up and I check and see if anybody pledged, and then I make this face if they haven't.
Why?
So then I wonder, why hasn't anyone pledged to this morning yet? So then I start sending out the email. So I mean, most of the time it's an update through the Kickstarter itself, which then hits up anyone who's following it and anyone who's pledged. So any kind of updates, like did I add a new stretch goal? Is there a new tier? Is a new item added? Then I usually get on to the socials, so Facebook, Instagram, and making an update, talking about what's new and let people know where we're at on the funding, how many days are left. Then I go onto the Substack and I figure, okay, did I set a Substack yesterday? Because I don't like to do that every day, because I don't want to overload people with it. I use Facebook and the other ones to overload people with stuff. And then it's like Substack. Okay, so what am I talking about on this? I don't just want to talk about, back to Kickstarter. I want to have something to talk about. So if I have something to talk about, then I'll send an update through that. And like I said, that's hitting people's emails directly. So those are the best ones. If you have a newsletter and you're collecting email addresses, that's the best way to communicate stuff, is hitting them through that. Because there's no algorithms through email, unless someone has things sent to their spam, which they probably do. So if you're on our list and you're not getting our emails, make sure they're not going into your spam filter. Also, I've seen instances where things are going right into the recycle bin or trash bin. So check that out. Make sure that things that we're sending you are not going there. But yeah, and that's just all day probably. Like I could probably spend like an hour or two just posting on socials, because of the way they work, where like you've got your main story page, then you've got your like your backup one, so like the Edge page, the Comicsburg page, and then there's groups. So now I'm sharing to pages. Then I have to share it to the groups. Generally, just share group and then repost the information that was in there. Sometimes you don't want to do that directly, because again, the way that Facebook works, it weirds it out sometimes. It goes into like HTML code sometimes. And then you can't even click on it or even read what it says. So yeah, sometimes you got to be a little bit more thoughtful on it, and probably just log into the group itself and post something there.
Right.
And then sometimes the groups have head of admins, and then you have to wait for the admin to approve it. So then that's messing up your process. You're like, I posted here. Where's my post?
Yeah, 15 hours later, then now they approve and everything. Okay, well, I had that promo going on a day ago.
Right.
So that
just happened to me today. Like I saw something posted. I'm like, that That was like 4 days ago, man. But it's all good. Like, it's not a full-time job being an admin on a page, because I'm an admin on some pages, and sometimes I don't approve all the posts right away.
Yeah. And speaking of being full time, I mean, you would think we're at full time with this, as far as putting the comics out, but I mean, it's a thing with us believing in this process that we still have full time jobs. I wish I was working this thing, full time and doing this dedication and without having to get off work, do the business, and still make way for the creative side. So I mean, that's still like the whole thing in us believing in us still doing in this thing that we call comics and stuff. So I mean, with us actually, let me look at this thing right here. So the reason why I did want to talk about us believing in comics is mainly because of how distribution has changed, and especially in like the last year and everything with Diamond. Unfortunately, sunsetting, their services and stuff. We don't know how that's going to end up going on and how that's going to affect a lot of the indie creators that ended up, coming up with Diamond and now have to search for like, other signs of other ways of distribution and stuff. Do you think that sours the belief in comics, or do you think what do you think that does in an indie creator's mindset when distribution channels change?
So let's say that the indie market is huge, and I'm going to like throw a number out there. So let's say there's 30,000 indie comic creators, and I would probably say 2,000 of them have distribution. So I mean, the number is really small. So they're out there trying to figure out other ways. Like before we were with Diamond, I mean, you had to find other ways. Like, I've been through multiple pop-up distributors over the years. Multiple.
This guy,
a lot.
He's been through the gamut.
So it's like it's not that like Diamond going down. It's the problem. It's that I've seen it before for a lot of things. And you have other options. So you've got like Indie Planet. You've got through your website, you've got things like Etsy, Gumroad, and there's a lot of options out there for distribution of comic books, and you've got like crowdfunding. But again, those things are all about bringing something to people, to something. That's the difference between like a Diamond, where Diamond is bringing those things to those people with like when they had the catalog and things like that. So it's a different game when you're kind of chasing down that sale versus being in a catalog where you can point to that and say, hey, there's my order code. You can order as many as you want, because now you kind of like in that in between realm with retail. So you want to have all the pillars in place. You want to have your retail, you want to have your crowdfunding, you want to have your direct market, your direct to consumer. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's going to be weird to see how this tree shakes out. I mean, as far as I know, Diamond hasn't closed up shop yet. They're still listing stuff on the website, but I mean, it's less. It seems like it's less and less every time that the new releases go up.
Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate too, because it makes you think about all the different ways. Of course, if you're a businessman and you're a hustler and stuff, you gotta know all the different ways that you could get your comic out there. But as a creator, sometimes you get sort of daunted because you're a creator, I'm a creator. I sort of look at this industry as like, okay, it's a way for us to get our stuff out there. So once we create the thing, our responsibility being that we don't have like major backing like a Marvel, DC, or Image, what have you. It's our responsibility. Like we co-created a publishing company to get our stuff out there. With even with Diamond to a degree, even though they brought the stuff to the shops, we still had to let people know that our stuff was in the shops. So you still had your marketing stuff you do. We still had to go on social media. We still had to let people know our stuff is in the stores for you to go and buy. So it's not enough to just have the stuff in the stores and be blessed enough to have a distribution to have, to get the stuff in the stores. That's like half the battle and everything. So number one, you're creating the stuff. Number two, you're finding a way to get it out, to all the distribution outlets like the comic shops. Number three, you have to let people know. You're letting people know that the stuff is out there. And like I said, it gets real. As an indie creator, it gets daunting. It gets sort of frustrating sometimes because you're going through all the business of it, and it sort of takes away from the creative side of it. Right. As a just judging personally as a creator.
Yeah, it's the constant battle with the thing, and it's every issue. You have to do the same thing. There's no drop off. It's like issue 1. Do the grind. Issue 2, do the grind. On and on and on. Get a trade out. Oh, we got to grind again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The good thing about the Kickstarters, though, if you have a good Kickstarter and you have something going, and you got an audience there, each time you put something out, most of the time they're going to come out and support. It's not the same as like getting your stuff out in the stores. That has like a much wider range. But Kickstarters, at least on the crowdfunding side, you mentioned the crowdfunding side, which we were, going to eventually get to. It's still a really good way to get your comic out, for like, Kickstarting and everything. So promiscuous time travel. At least you weren't associated with Aftershock or Scout Comics. Right? Hey, it makes it like really just crazy there and everything. So
I got other stories on that. So yeah. So
we only got like so much time and everything. So we got William in the house. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? How are you guys doing today?
Comics in the Heezy doing his thing. He's does a trillion. Trade paperback quick Kickstarter we got going on right now. Right now, we're basically talking about if we're still believing in comics. Is it still worth it to get into this thing, as a creator and actually get down and do the business of it? Going from the creative side to the business side. What say you? What say you, William?
I feel you have to have a love for it. If you don't have a love for it, then you shouldn't do it. Just point blank. Sometimes it's not about the money all the time. It's about the passion. Sometimes it's just trying to get your story out there, just to be seen, just to be heard, to put representation out there. So yeah, I feel like it's still worth it,
Awesome. And basically, this show is basically just, asking about if we still believe in the comics. I mean, I would say for everybody in the Comicsburg and affiliate panel that yes, we still believe in comics. Hence, we're out here doing this show, asking you if you still believe in comics. So right. We're pretty much dedicated to this thing, but that doesn't mean that we don't go through, trials and tribulations trying to get this stuff out there and get it, to you guys and everything. Promiscuous says that to answer the question, okay, yep. Oh, so you still believe it? Yes, they still believe in comics. So the storytelling isn't dying. Storytelling has been around since the beginning of time. So that's definitely, the truth right there. We just need to adapt to graphic novel style and digital. So yeah, I mean, it's ways to still get the stuff out there. It may not always be in like single issue form, month to month format and everything. You got the webtoon things that's like really popular now with like manga stuff and basically just other types of stuff and getting comic style content out to people without having it in a printed format. What do you guys think about that?
I think there's a lot of ways you can think about that, but in my mind, you present everything in every format you can.
And it's best.
I agree.
So you're not always going to have people. Yeah, you're not always going to have people who like trades. Some people still like the singles. So there's no reason to not have everything available. So you do trades, you do digital, you do single issues. I mean, even if you audio, why are we crossed over into audiobooks now, where we have someone reading the story. So I mean, all options are on the table, and I don't want to like spite or cut off anyone from any of the stuff.
Yeah, like I said, check every box. You know, it's always good to have like multiples if you can. So not every creator can actually afford to get into like all the formats and stuff. But the good thing about like technology nowadays, you can have ways to do that without having to spend like a astronomical budget to get your stuff out there. You know, it's always a way to do it. Whether like you say, you could do podcasts, you could do like the audio books. As Marvin said, you can but putting your stuff together is like the first and foremost stuff to make sure that you're confident enough to have it out there,
Right. Yeah,
So
don't overextend yourself on issue 1.
Yeah, you don't need to work on issue 1 forever. Get to
Right.
issue 2, and then issue 3, and then issue 4, and then the thing is, we don't make this stuff in a vacuum. So when we finally put it out, it took me like, with the Theme of Thieves and everything, it took me like about a good 5 years to come up with the concept. Finally got it down and was able to actually, successfully, get it done and get it drawn and, put it out in, format. And now I'm actually doing my trade paperback finally. We'll talk about our trade paperbacks later, but we're, doing a trade paperback finally. I could be able to collect the issue to get the first arc going, and shout out to everybody who's in the comics now, comment definitely, appreciate you jumping on and checking out the Comicsburg show. We definitely, welcome you. All right.
Yeah,
So
you want to say something?
Yeah, did you want to say something, Will?
Oh no, I was just listening to you guys, but well, in a way, yeah. So you were talking about the different formats and everything. When I first started Cataclysm Comics, we didn't have any money for printing. As a matter of fact, I'm still kind of like, I'm not making any money right now. I make money for my creators and everything right now. So when we first started, we were going to go the digital route, put the comics out on the internet and everything, and try to get people to buy that way or whatnot. And then we were going to transition over into the physical copies. But eventually, I started making just a little enough money, just a little bit to do my own printing. So I found a good printer that I have a nice partnership with now, and yeah, so now we're getting the comics out in the physical form. But if you guys are starting out, don't be afraid. Like Marvin said, hit all those avenues and get your stuff out there as best as you can.
Right. And I know there are a few publishers out there that only do digital for singles, and then they only release physical trades. So that's an option too. Like if you want to just release your things digitally first and then collect it into a trade later, I mean that works.
Yeah, I mean, it saves you from having to, chop down more trees and everything. It saves you having to
leave the trees alone.
Leave the trees alone, man. People they chopping down these trees so much, trying to build houses and more property and stuff. Leave the trees alone if you can. But paper is a thing. Some people prefer that format. If you want to check that box again, and like Marvin said, if you want to do the digital first and then put the stuff into physical trade paperback form or formatted form, it's always a way to do it. There's no 1, 2, 3 way to do it. So you could do it like put the digital stuff out first and then put the stuff into the stores as a physical format with a floppy. But it's just all types of ways to do that, and all these different ways gives us that belief in the format in the comics that makes us still keep on doing this thing. I can tell you, I can only speak for myself, but if I'm working with these guys, they're probably thinking about their projects every day, all day. I know I do. I'm up in the morning, late at night. I'm always thinking about a way to either expand the story of the Theme of Thieves or try to get it out in a creative way, so people can see our stuff. We're always doing like conventions and everything. We're always out there hustling, trying to sell our books, and we sold like thousands of books, as a Comicsburg collective and everything. And I was fortunate enough to meet Marvin like years ago, and get into like the whole collective and everything to really to expand my stuff and everything. And we just meet people along the way. We met William, we met Grant, got well, Manny's been down since the beginning. Shout out to you, Manny. You're doing your thing. Manny, the man on the streets, as we say, the man on the streets, always putting up the flyers and everything. Yep. So yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, we're still believing in the industry. We're still believing in comics, and until they tell us that we can't do this anymore and turn the lights out, it's still what we're going to keep doing. So, anything you guys want to add to that?
They can't turn off the lights if there ain't no light switch, bro.
On this small planet and everything. So one new thing I wanted to do was share our StreamYard link here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And this link basically lets you guys come and talk with us, so you can actually come on the stream right here, right now. You can FaceTime us, if you got like a smartphone, or if you're on a computer right now, come and talk with us. We'll give you like a few minutes to, tell us about yourself and tell us, what you believe in comics. We'll try this out. We may get somebody, we may not, and everything. But in the meantime, we're still going to keep talking about, what we believe in this format. How do you guys feel about the stuff that's being produced nowadays with I guess like the mainstream that's like carrying this is like Marvel and DC. They're always recycling like the Ultimate Universe. Every time I see like pick up a Marvel comic, I'm see they're doing like another Ultimate Universe. How many Ultimate Universes are they going to come up with? What do you guys think about the cycling and recycling that they do with their characters and their stories all the time?
Yeah, I thought on that, William. Or you want me to go?
Well, I think it kind of keeps the characters fresh a little bit. You've got Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, all of this stuff. And so it tells the same story, but in a different way. So yeah, it is recycled or whatnot. But, I just got done watching Marvel Zombies, the animated series. And the way that they remixed that was pretty cool. I'm not trying to give anything away, but what they did with the Hulk was pretty awesome. So, I in a way I like it. I wouldn't say that I would do it, but it's a fresh new take on old characters,
Right. And I mean, I just was looking at some of the stuff from New York Comic Con, and like they're rebooting the X-Men books again, back to number ones. And who's getting the book? Cyclops. I'm like, Cyclops
finally getting a book.
Yeah, Cyclops is getting his own book. I'm like,
okay.
Anybody really want to read about a book with just Cyclops in it? Like, I like Cyclops character. He's an interesting character as like on a team. But it was always weird, like back in the like 80s and 90s. Like Wolverine was the only one that really had his own book, because Wolverine was an interesting character carrying his own book, and none of the other characters have them now. Cyclops has a book, Storm has a book, Rogue has a book. I'm pretty sure there's a Gambit Road book, but I'm like you're going to have so many like books in this X-Men universe. Like, I don't think it's possible for anyone to keep up with all that stuff.
Yeah, I used to be a avid X reader, and I used to collect everything with an X on it, and it was a job trying to keep up with everything. It really was. Every time you turn around, they were coming out with a new book or a new extension of a story or something. So yeah, I agree.
And then there's what's the Generation X-23? So it's Gabby and Laura in a book. That's just Wolverine, right? Like, she was Wolverine, now she's not Wolverine anymore. Now she's X-23 again, and now she has a book where she teams up with her clone sister.
I just saw where she's now Sabretooth. I don't know how that happened, but she's now Sabretooth.
Laura or Gabby?
I don't know which one. I don't know which one.
And they brought some of the Age of Apocalypse characters into the 616.
Oh yeah, yeah, they've been done that with
you're dragging that story around again still.
Quest Publishing say, "Yep, that's a lot of X's." Yep, I mean that's X just go around and everything. Guinevere is saying that, okay, I like to see Peter get bit by a spider again. How many times are we gonna see Peter get bit by a spider? He's always getting bit by.
There's like 12 Spider-Man characters in the same universe.
Same universe.
You got
What's up
Peter,
with the spider biting all these folks making them spider bit?
You got Gwen, you got Peter, you got Miles. There's a Spider Kid. There's a Spider Kid
Boy.
girl.
Spider Boy.
Yeah, Spider Boy, Spider Girl. Like, what in the world, man?
Yeah, everybody, this Spider-Man. I mean, this little spider, they just can't help but just bite. Hungry little thing.
And it's funny, it's probably the same spider too.
You got Peter Parker. You got Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, fighting everybody.
Oh yeah, those Spider-Man 2099 and everything. The spider goes into the future and starts fighting folks and everything. They need to do something about that spider,
Spider-Punk.
Conquest. Yep. A Spider-Punk. Yep, exactly.
So, I heard that they're doing a spin-off. They're doing a spin-off with Spider-Punk. It's a spin-off of Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that sounds super interesting.
Yeah.
Peter needs to be a professor, spider professor. He'd be the Professor X of the spider folks. Hey, you're giving Marvel ideas and everything, so don't be surprised if that comes out in the future and stuff. Right. So just
well, I mean, but their tag used to be the House of Ideas, and I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Right. And like I said, come join us. We got like a few minutes more where if you wanted to check us out here, we got the StreamYard link in the comment section. So if you want to get on actually our show, and you got a phone, just come on the show, FaceTime and all that. You download the Stream app. They have the StreamYard app right in your phone. You can actually come right on the show and talk with us. We'll probably be doing this like every Friday that we're on. Giving you like a few minutes to talk about stuff in comics and everything. And do you believe in comics? So apparently some of the people on here still do. So thank you for actually chatting and joining us in the comments and stuff. So we definitely like all the feedback and everything. Just for the fact that the Marvel and DC continues to carry like the industry and stuff is okay with me. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with the way that they're putting out their stuff. They can recycle as much as they want. As long as they continue to keep the comics branding out there, that is still a thing. It's going to be a thing for everybody. It still benefits everyone. Shout out to Image out there. They're not mainly doing just superheroes. They had to transition from doing superhero stuff to a lot of indie type craziness and everything. Mm-hmm. And they're just basically known for putting out weird type of stories, different type of stories, comic stuff that people can actually grab onto if they don't like superheroes. So and I think that's a thing that Comicsburg gives you that different variety. And so we have like superheroes, we have like ancient stuff with like mixed with supernatural stuff. We have like historical stuff. We have sci-fi. We have like all different types of formats that we can actually get into. And as a collective, it actually makes a really good way for us to interact. And you should see us at shows. We're always talking about something different and everything. And people say, "All right, you guys are all united." They see the Comicsburg sign out, in back of us, and be like, "Yep, this is you guys seem like you know what you're doing." I mean, we try to. I always say that this is a boss right here. He tell us what to do.
Other side. I'm over here.
Over there. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about it is like people really say that we put up a good display, and our display at Three Rivers this year is going to be our best one yet.
Oh yeah. Can't wait to get back into that. And
this guy's 10th year anniversary, so we got to do it big.
Yep, gotta make it big and do it big. Indies are always bringing like new ideas to the industry and everything. So indies, while Marvel and DC are at like the top, and they make sure that the industry is still flowing, like they're like the airplane on top. Make sure everything is still flowing. The indies, I would say, is like really the backbone, because you have to have new ideas. You have to have new stuff, new material to come up with for everybody to bounce off of. Like one good thing about like the ideas that we come up with, I was actually able to spin my stuff into like a novel type format. And some people actually do novel stuff and spin it off into like, comic format. Shout out to Madeline Rosen, she does her Boston metaphysical stuff. She does like the physical format. She does like novel stuff. She does like podcasts and everything, all spin out in like in her own set universe and stuff with the Boston Metaphysical Society and stuff. I mean, it's just a really great way for her to expand to all the different formats. And she has like when she does a Kickstarter, she's automatically day one has like 500 to 600 fans, getting on her stuff. And her stuff is just like I always tell her I want to grow up and be just like you, do that and everything. So it's a beautiful thing. So if you guys are not coming on, like I said, we'll probably do it like we'll give you guys a chance to like come on and check us out and see what our stuff is, and give you a chance to like talk. We want to give you guys a chance to talk about maybe you got some comics that you want to show off or whatever. Comicsburg is an all-inclusive environment. So all right, so we want to before we start wrapping up here, talk about some Comicsburg Kickstarters that are running this month. We're going to start off with, my man Marvin stuff, The Edge. Let me go ahead and show your Kickstarter over here. So, Marvin, you got 18 days left, buddy. How's it feel?
Man, I'm at the point where I'm going to start driving to people's houses. And bringing my laptop in and sitting them down and saying, all right, start kicking those keys in and kick that money out. So like 18 days to go, 62 backers. I need about a little under $7,000 there.
Yeah.
And we could do it.
We're going to do it too. We're definitely going to do it.
With the help of the people.
Speak that into existence.
The people got to come together and say, we want this thing. So Blain 1/18 scale action figure. So if you don't know what 1/18 scale, that is 3 1/3 quarters, which is the same size as the old G.I. Joe or the G.I. Joes from the 80s, and then these guys are like, so that's my boy Alpine. So that's size. Select it.
Actually, show that again. I'm gonna put you in a big.
Everybody remembers Alpine from the animated series, right?
There we go.
That's Buddy Bazooka.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the climbing guy. He does the mountain climbing. So yes, that side. So also the Blain one shot called High Stakes, where Blain is headed to Las Vegas, not to do any gambling, but to extract a gentleman who is talking too much about the edge. So
running his mouth.
Yeah, he's there selling the secrets to the highest bidder so he can get some more money to gamble. Because betting is betting, and betting is betting, and you got to make money by betting.
Flapping his gap and everything.
So it's going to be a 40 plus pages. We do have a stretch goal at 670 backers, and we'll add 4 more pages. Those 4 pages will be about the characters we call the Fiends, who were dosed with a different version of the Edge, and it didn't go well with them. But now they're like paid assassins, and they're paid in the drug itself, so they're addicted.
Or just says that figure is dope. Hey, if you didn't go ahead and back, hey, make sure you go ahead and back now. So you think the action figure is dope? It does look dope. I mean, he has all types of different poses and everything going on and everything. Make sure that you guys are going to back right now. It's Christmas time coming up, right, Marvin?
Right,
yeah.
Right.
So what should JB doing for Christmas?
And you should be backing the Blain action figures so you can get it in your stocking. But yeah, it's 25 points of articulation, which you normally don't see in figures of this size. A lot of detail. So yeah. So hook it up if you want.
Yep. So that's.
And if you don't, share it with a friend, because if you don't want me to come to your place with my laptop, then I'll go to their house.
Well, I mean, that's a really good point too. So even if this may not be your bag, it may be someone else's bag or someone else in your family's bag who likes collecting action figures, who likes having like new stuff that never, that you may not get in stores immediately. This is the Kickstarter is an exclusive basically for all people who are backing. You're basically getting this first, before the stores, aren't they, Marvin?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get it first before the store.
All backers get their stuff first, and it's not just the action figure. Like you got the one shot. Also, you got coffee. There's prints in there. There's wham booms and wham stands. All kind of cool stuff in there. So even if you don't want an action figure, you got other items that are available in there for you to grab.
Yep. We need to there's 18 days left, guys. We need to get Marvin to this goal, because time is ticking. A lot of you guys like waiting to the last minute. So stop procrastinating. Go ahead and pledge now. So we definitely
handle your business.
Handle your business. Yeah. All right. So yep, that was the edge right there. So the next thing we're gonna do is get Trillion up here. So William, we're gonna put your stuff up here. Put you in the spotlight. So let's go ahead and get Trillion going on, and you're talking about that. So let me get that up for you here. What gotta do here? Huh? Hold on for a minute. I gotta there share screen. So there we go. So it's spelled in front of you right there. Share screen, DP. All right. So this is Trillion right here, guys. And so tell us a little bit about that.
All right, so Trillion basically is about a young lady by the name of Trisha Leone. She was left for dead after a hit and run. Family was too poor to pay the medical bills. This rich a-hole sees a business opportunity and says, hey, sign this contract, I'll save her life. The family does it without reading the fine print, and he puts $1 trillion worth of cybernetics inside of her body. Now, basically, Trillion, what we're trying to do with the story right now, we're already up to issue 6. We haven't printed it out for sale just yet. We need money for that. We need money for the trade paperback. We're trying to do coloring books. We're also trying to do, not just a trade paperback, but we're also trying to do a behind-the-scenes art and sketchbook. It's already put together. We just need to get the funds together so that we can print all of this stuff out. We're trying to expand our comic book universe. We're trying to get more equipment. Currently, I was just asking for $500, just lowballing or whatnot, so that we can hit our goal. And then we were going to expand upon that and try to make more money, So, hey, if you guys would like to, please go, please pledge, please back us, and share. Get it out there. I work with people from all over the world. The writer of the story, his name is Joseph Stevenson. Today's his birthday, and he's in England.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. And then on top of that, the artist is in Mexico. His name is Victor Pinello. So, I'm working with people from all over the world. And every time I sell a book, the money goes straight to, half the money goes to Cataclysm Comics, and the other half goes to the creators of the book. Now, this cover here, before you scroll up, go back down real quick. The cover right there was done by an American by the name of Teddy V. Barnes. He did the variant cover for this comic here. So the money's going all over the place or whatnot. I'm not getting any money out of this just yet, even though I'm the CEO of the company. How many CEOs do you know of a company make sure that their creators are taken care of before them? So I'm just out here trying to help them out right now. Cataclysm Comics is all about trying to get people into the comic book industry. So if there's anybody out there who draws, who does who does art, who likes to write or whatever, we're open to any and everybody to try to get your story out there and hopefully get you into the comic book industry. So that's basically what's going on there. If you guys would like to share, back, and word of mouth works too.
Original Origin says she looks tough as hell on that first quarter cover. Hey, she looks strong. Say strong. Woo!
Well, if you got $1 trillion worth of cybernetics in you, you're going to be strong, or something's wrong.
All right.
Yeah, she's got all types of different powers and abilities. Go
That's
ahead.
incredible. We mentor also. Yep. So yeah, basically, Trillion. Hey, it's a holiday season, guys. It's time to pledge and time to it's that time to give, support your indie creators. Go into the Kickstarter. We'll have all the links in the show notes and stuff, if you're on like the YouTube channel and everything. And also StreamYard is gracious enough to have a QR code, right on the site now on the thing. So if you see your screens and everything, it's a QR code that you can actually, if you're got your phones, you can click on that and go straight to our website. You'll get all our links to you can follow the Kickstarters right there. But like I said, it's a give a season, and it follows with the theme of we still believe in this thing called comics, that we're actually coming out here begging you guys for money. So we're out here making sure that we're hustling, making sure that we're letting you know that we got all this stuff going out there, so we definitely appreciate, all your support and everything that we got coming along, within like the Comicsburg, stuff here. So thank you, William. Thank you for Trillion. And we got like a few more. We got like about a couple more weeks left in that Kickstarter. So make sure that you guys are going checking that out, so we could get Cataclysm and Trillion to go. All right. So finally, we'll get to the Theme of Thieves. So let me go ahead and share that. So basically what you're going to get with the Theme of Thieves, I'm going to stop the screen and let me say it. Let's go ahead and share that. So with TTOT, we got about 22 days left and I'm almost to go. So hey, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So it'll be a beautiful thing. Day that happen, I'll be throwing like, strings and stuff in the air and everything, playing horns and stuff. I mean, when we kick this stuff off, I know I'll speak for myself as a Kickstarter, creator and everything. I get so nervous when, the Kickstarter first launched, because it's like, who's going to take their hard-earned money that they make every week and spend their money on my stuff? I'm blessed enough to get people to do that. And we're blessed enough to have people to actually back our stuff. So shout out to everybody who's watching this stream and everything, who's watching us and who's backed us so far, taking your hard-earned money. You could have spent it on someone else. You could be going out tonight, having a good drink, going out to dinner, just doing all types of stuff and not, spending your money. To have the time and wherewithal to spend your money on us, we definitely appreciate the effort and the backing and everything. Don't forget to hit that link button. It's an important thing. And to make sure that you guys are going to back our stuff. So anyway, the Theme of Thieves is about two teens and a mysterious being, that guy right there and the man in the red suit. They're traveling through time and they're trying to solve a mystery of why people disappear in the present. So if you like Lost, if you like Quantum Leap, if you like The Wire, those are like three of my favorite TV shows I decided to put into a book. So basically with this Kickstarter, I got like the trade paperback that collects like the first 4 issues. Okay, collects 1 through 4. They were in stores last year, really good success in like the comic shops and everything. It was people saying, when are you going to get this thing out into a trade? Because I don't collect floppies and stuff. I like having things in a square bound form. Well, here you are. I mean, that's what we're doing right here, right, Marvin? Right, Willie? Or we're finally getting these things into square bound format so you can put on your shelves. You got like the floppy stuff and everything where you can put it to the side, save it. If you got like signed stuff, you can, save it till when we got finished. Now you got a trade paperback format where you can actually sit down and read the stuff, just basically sit with it in a collected binge type format. So if you like binging your stuff, that's the whole purpose of these trade paperbacks, so you can read all the issues in succession. And the good thing about the collected format is that the book one gives you like the first arc for when everything started, from when we meet our additional characters, Rebecca and Jason, all the way up until when the crazy man actually appears in the present. So it's been an event that's been happening since the 1800s called Evanescence, where people just gradually disappear. And this scene right here shows like the slave master taking a slave, doing some he's been doing some crazy stuff night after night. And then we witnessed one of the first instances of the event called Evanescence, where people just randomly disappear for no rhyme or reason. So we don't know where they're going and why this is happening, and it keeps happening for the past couple, centuries and stuff. And my protagonists are trying to find out why this is still happening in the present. So, we get into like the coming of age with like the Rebecca, Jason, and also the man in the red suit. We see them, just going along on their journeys and stuff. And the Jason right here, he's being bullied at a party, and someone's taking his shoes and everything, and just making him, just do some crazy, ignorant type stuff. But yeah, this is a Theme of Thieves. Like I said, it's been really successful in the stores. And like I said, this time we're collecting like the first 4 issues. I'm almost to goal, guys. It's a couple more $100. I mean, I'm right at goal, and then I'm trying to get these out by Christmas so you guys can have them for your stockings. So like I keep repeating, it's holiday season time. It's the season of giving and everything. So if you're ready to actually do that, go ahead and yeah, so do all the Kickstarter page have video presenting the books? Yes. So basically, go to all the Kickstarters, you see all our videos and everything. And go to our website. We got like a video on there. And we're basically, letting extended what the videos of each of our projects are. So with TTOT, it's a few more, $100, a couple more hundreds that it'll get me to go. And that doesn't mean it has to stop right there. It's 22 days left. So just keep going on. And I even have a retailer bundle there and also a Comicsburg bundle and stuff. So make sure that you guys just browse all our Kickstarters so we could get these things funded. So like I said, we're independent creators out there hustling, trying to do our thing. I mean, it means a whole lot when we actually get like the backing that we can from our fans. It'd be one thing to get our backing from like, big publishers and stuff, but to get it from people who actually care about the stuff, actually sit down and read it and physically, tell us how much they like our stuff, how much they, want to see our stuff, get published and want to, see the stuff actually, get out there. It's just such a beautiful thing. And basically
people.
Yeah, basically for the people and stuff. I mean, anything that you guys got to add to that?
Yeah, I was just saying that we're always here for the people, and like we really enjoy talking with people, especially at conventions, that come up to us and are aware that we exist and have questions and things like that. So I mean, it seems like that every convention that we go to, we're always talking about the creation process and telling people how things go, and just being honest with them about what the process is going to be, and not so they get caught in the grinder like I did.
Don't get caught up in the grinder. It really suck you in and just put you under. Anything you got to say about it, William?
Yeah, like like you said, we do this for the people.
Hold up.
Okay.
And this is so being rude. Page say you left me out. That is just, hey, dude. If you don't ask for it, you will not get it. And as they say in business, if you don't get it, if you don't get it in writing, you don't get it at all and everything. We got to make sure that we're shouting out Footpath. And also because he actually shouted, put me on blast and everything. All right, so Marvin, before we leave here, tell the audience about Footpath.
So Footpath is the member of the chess organization. Chess is kind of like an offshoot of the Edge. So she's their resident ninja assassin with the hair, and every time I see it, I have to bring up the hair, and the 90s hair going wild, and it's all over the place. So yeah, so I mean, so go over there and check it out. Like Chess is a really good book. There will be a crossover between Chess and the Edge coming soon.
Yeah. Love the hair and everything. When I backed this about a couple days ago. I went with this cover right here. This was awesome to me, man. Look at that cover right there. That's just some crazy, woo, man. Yeah. So, hey, Paige, man, you're doing your thing over there. Shout out. Make sure that you get your props and stuff. They said, wow, yeah, hey, that's you. You're doing your thing, So it's a beautiful thing. But yeah, love this cover. This is the one I ended up backing. And like I said, it's Christmas time, guys. make sure that you guys are going to like the different Kickstarters that we have at Comicsburg and supporting our stuff. And the page one comics has been doing stuff for years, been affiliated with Comicsburg for years and everything, and it just throws you back to like that image, back in the day type, feeling and everything back from the early 90s and stuff. So it gives you that feel, and it's always action going on, like you said, this is 32-pager, heart-pounding, rough, rapid-fire action for fans of G.I. Joe, Birds of Prey, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Come on now. If you like those things and like action, please pick up Footpath. I mean, it'll be a definitely good get, especially for your stocking stuffer. Right, Marvin?
There you go. Like it's the holidays. And it has to even got to be the stocking stuffer. You could buy comics and put them in the kids' bags for Halloween.
There you go. Come on now. I mean, we're giving you guys all types of game and stuff. Put it on there. One more thing. Origin says there's a channel called Six Element of Hip Hop. It's a comic book and collectible channel. I can't pronounce things nowadays. They will love all your stuff. Okay, yeah. So
okay.
yeah. Hey, we love give us all the hookup and stuff. So we love getting our stuff out there, and definitely thank you guys for joining us tonight. With everything that we got going on. Marvin has to get out and go to let me see what we got, Marvin. So I'll give you guys a preview of what he's about to escape to. He said, DP, I got to get out of here. I got to go to to the thing. So he's going to living on the edge and collection fusion, talking about his Blain action figure. So make sure you guys after this jump over to that channel, Collector Express, and see Marvin on that. He'll be talking fully about like the Edge, action figure Kickstarter, and a lot of stuff going on in that. You see their chat is just jumping over there. They got a lot of stuff going on. So we're trying to grow up and be like everybody else and everything.
Right?
We're just starting big, just starting little, So each time that we get into this, we keep going, and thank you for everybody who's been showing up tonight and talking about visiting us and see what's up. And like I said, we'll be back here next Friday night, talking again about a different subject, and we'll see exactly what's going on with all that. So anything else you got to say, guys?
Not only that, so I'll be back on YouTube on my channel tomorrow night at 9. Just real quick, just to do a quick update on everything that's going on. So if you guys got time, hook it up. Go ahead and follow us. Make sure that you're supporting your local library. Always got to do that PSA. Make sure that you guys are. I didn't even mention Memoirs of the Morbid. So so you guys make sure. And Grant's gonna just kill me if I don't do that. So right quick, we'll put his up. I'm going to swing over to the other show. Go ahead, swing over to the show. I'll mention his thing right here, and then we'll wrap up and get up out of here. See you, Marvin. So Memoirs of the Morbid is orange. It's Halloween season. So if you guys want to get some good Halloween stuff, make sure that you guys are going to Grant stuff. He does some really good Halloween stuff. Every year he's going through some different and this is an anthology too. So this is an orange edition. So just want to give Grant a quick shout out and make sure that we mention this stuff. We got a lot of stuff going on here, so I do apologize that I had you on the back end there, Grant. But we'll get to you. Maybe I'll get to you first, like next week. But want to go ahead and just let you guys know that Comicsburg is basically everywhere. Send us some feedback at comicsburg.com. Thanks for showing us. Make sure that you guys are following us at Comicsburg. We're basically all over, all your social media platforms. And make sure that you guys are, backing all our Kickstarters, or at least checking them out and sharing them with your friends. I want to thank you once again for, watching us tonight, and see you when we see ya.